Hi, and welcome to the LesParis.com podcast. I'm Les. This podcast is a short daily monologue that you can listen to. Use it to practice listening to English. Use it to stimulate ideas. Use it for BGM.
Hi there, and welcome to the Les Paris podcast. This is episode 136. Yesterday, in episode 135, we talked about electric lights. Today, in episode 136, we're going to jump into the sky and talk about the jumbo jet. The jumbo jet. Have you ever ridden a jumbo jet? These are the big commercial airliners that people fly far away in. They're typically have a bump at the front. That means there's space for a second floor, and usually the first class passengers go to the second floor. It's a little higher and separate from most other passengers. The jumbo jet is also called the Boeing 747, and it can hold like 366 passengers. It was one of the biggest commercial airliners for a long time. I remember when I was a boy, we went one time to Disneyland. It was the only time that I ever flew on an airplane with my family. It was a really special trip, and we got on the jumbo jet. I remember getting on and seeing the stairs that went up to first class, but we weren't allowed to go up there. So, I never actually saw what it was like in the first class. But it looked really good. And these airliners are really big. They have room for 10 chairs sideways across the airplane. That's a lot of people sitting on one airplane. There are other airplanes today that are, actually, I don't know if they're bigger or not. The new one is called the Airbus. But the jumbo jet was kind of classic because it had that bump at the beginning, and it's called the jumbo after all. It's sort of a sign of the times, an era. If you had lots of money, you could fly first class on a jumbo jet. And because they carried lots of people, they were typically only for long-haul flights. You didn't fly a jumbo jet for 2 hours. You flew up for 6 or 8 or 10 hours to go far away. How about other planes? Well, there is the Airbus, and that's sort of taking over these days. Do you fly commercial airlines? Do you fly far away? Tell me about it. Hey, that brings us to the end of another episode of the Les Paris podcast. Today we talked about the jumbo jet in episode 136. Tomorrow, I'd love it if you could join me again for episode 137, where I talk about drying clothes.